Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm taking over from my colleague Ashish Parikh. Well, politics is a very interesting game. Some may call a very bizarre game where you need to be very thick-skinned. And then you have Indian politics, where often you really have to justify even the not so right. And then you have the other part of politicians, men and women, who just don't see their blind spots. And even if they do, it's hard to really acknowledge it. But every few months, they will go to their voters and ask for votes. In 2024 Lok Sabha elections, women were at least 65% of the voters. In Maharashtra, for the last elections, it was around 59% voters. Now, why am I giving you this backdrop? Let's get that image on our screens right now. Can we have that image, please, of the Shivneri Sundari? That's the image. Look at that woman. If you can have that woman, please. She is a voter. I mean, in this case, she'll be a model, but nonetheless, she is a voter. She's going to be voting for the government next time, and that, like her, there are going to be scores of voters in the Maharashtra elections. Now, the government has gone ahead and announced a scheme that if you're traveling between Pune and Mumbai, you are going to be having bus hostesses like air hostesses. Great! The government says it's good, there's employment which is being generated. Absolutely. The government says this is going to increase the passenger experience of travel, surely. But what the government does not seem to be seeing is the name that they have given. And that is Shivneri Sundaris. What is the problem with this? Well, we'll get to that in a bit. There's been a huge load of criticism around it, whether it be from the political opponents who've, of course, taken political potshots at the government, but also from different segments of the society. Now, BJP leader Ram Kadam has given a bizarre defense saying that the government is providing jobs to these women. He further added that when opposition doesn't have any problem with air hostesses, then why do these people have problem with hostesses in buses? Now, here is one problem. Who is having problem with bus hostesses? Nobody. The problem is with the word that has been, the term that has been coined, Shivneri Sundaris. And then you may ask, what is the problem with that? The problem is objectification. The problem is objectification of a woman for everything with how the woman looks. Beautiful. Sundari. So imagine, you have a professional bus hostess who's doing her job. And a passenger calls, Namaste Sundari. This is happening at a time when Maharashtra is going into elections. Just yesterday, the Maharashtra State Road Transport Corporation announced a new initiative, Shivneri Sundaris, for the e-shivneri buses operating between Mumbai and Pune. Under this new scheme, women will be employed in these buses just like air hostesses, and they will provide all support to the passengers. Shiv Sena-UBT MP Priyanka Chaturvedi, as we mentioned to you yesterday, yes, this is a sequel of what we have taken up, had called this absolutely a perverted and misogynistic idea. The BJP, as I said, has justified this. I'm being joined at this point by Krishna Hegde, who's a spokesperson for Shiv Sena, Shinde faction Kishore Tiwari, who's a spokesperson for Shiv Sena-UBT, and Abha Singh, who will be shortly joining us. She's a lawyer as well as activist. Thank you very much for joining us. Well, my first question to you, of course, Krishna Hegde ji. Good evening. This is election season. You are going to be going to the voters. You are going to the voters, in fact. And around 59% of voters in Maharashtra are women. And if that is correct, I just did a very rough search on that. If that is correct, don't you see a problem while you are generating employment, you are actually going ahead and objectifying women? Don't you see a problem with the usage of the word Sundaris?
No, Sneha, absolutely not. And I must tell you, this Mahavikas Aghadi, which is part of the opposition now, since 2.5 years, they have been very critical of any decision the government taken, any decision, any work the government has done, and that has been their full-time job and nothing else. In the 2.5 years that they were in power, let me tell you what they did to the state transport workers. They stopped their bonuses, they stopped their salaries. When they came to protest, they lathi charged them, so much so that the state transport employees and workers had to storm Sharad Pawar Saab's house. They were lathi charged again, there were cases put against them, and they were put into jail. Now, when we are trying to get women in Maharashtra more jobs and modernize the state transport and give better facilities and an experience in travel, they are again critical. I'm just asking them, what have you done for the state transport employees that you had to put them in jail, lathi charge them, beat them up, stop their salaries, bonuses, and make them sit on the roads on Diwali? Roads on Diwali. And the employees were in such,
Krishna
bad
Hegde,
condition
Krishna Hegde,
that they were so happy that they saw the back of this government. And when our government came back, Sneha, we did all for the employees of the state transport
any one of us here do not have a problem with what has been rolled out. We do not have a problem with bus hostesses. We do not have a problem with modernization of transport. We do not have a problem of modernization of experiences. But I'm asking you this again because you are part of the ruling front. I'm asking you this again to give you a second chance to review your response. Is there an objectification of women even though the intent was employment and inclusivity?
No.
Are you willing to see that sundaris, the usage of the word sundaris, can literally put the woman in a context where you have passengers viewing them as sundaris, the pressure and the burden of just that name being born? It could have been anything else, but you chose Shivneri Sundaris. How fair is that, Krishna Hegde, at a time when you criticize cinema and you criticize various other aspects for throwing all aspects of beauty and benchmarks, fake benchmarks? You're again doing just the very thing with a garb of trying to enhance employment, which is welcome. But still, don't you see a problem?
Yeah, absolutely there is no problem. We are not trying to objectify any woman. They are like our sisters. If there is any lady on the bus who's a hostess, she'd obviously have her nameplate here. And let me tell you that the State Transport Corporation, when our heart is clear, our mind is clear, and our intention is clear, why should we care for what these opposition and the false claims that they are making or false accusation they are making? Maybe it is in their mind, we don't know. But at least it is not in our mind, it is not in the mind of the government, and the government has done this with a pure intention of giving, women jobs and giving them a livelihood. And therefore, and it is a test one route from Mumbai to Pune, and I don't see why they are making such a big hangama about it. There are so many important issues in the state which this opposition is never talking about.
Abha Singh,
only thing they do
Krishna
is, what are the work the government is doing?
He just doesn't see why this is being made into an issue. He just doesn't see that when there are so many other concerns and things to talk about and worry about, why is a select group of professional women who will be doing a job being called Shivneri Sundaris now becoming such a big concern? Would you want to say something about this?
No, I don't like the name. Why do you have to say Sundari? You could have just got them to do the job, but not given them this name, because then, of course, you're trying to objectify women and you're trying to say that some pretty women are going to come and going to be there. And it appears like you're trying to lure the passengers to come. That connotation is wrong. But yes, I agree. Even for the bar dancers, the Supreme Court said that they have a right to job, and that is how it had upheld the bar girls in Mumbai. So if you are treating it as a job, as a profession, and it is an outlet for women to take up job, I am good with that. But this name, I think that should be changed. It should not be Shivneri Sundari, because it does not project women in a good light, and it says just because of their looks and all, you are getting them. And you say they were in this bus company was in loss, and now after these women that have come, it has profited it. So that, I mean, that itself, you cannot glorify, quantify women. So the name should be changed. But yes, if women are getting jobs, then it is not a bad scheme to that extent.
Kishore Tiwari ji, I know you're waiting, but apologies. Allow me to go to Krishna Hegde just once more, because then if I ask him for a response after you, Krishna Hegde, Kishore Tiwari ji, Krishna Hegde is going to accuse this of being a political witch hunt. But Krishna Hegde, I want to come directly to you after Abha Singh has said, you would agree she's not a politician. You would agree she's a woman lawyer. You would agree she's a woman by gender. You've heard what she has said. Do you want to review your answer?
See, this is for the government to take a call. I have great respect for Abha Singh ji, who is a very renowned lawyer, and also for her husband, YP Singh ji. And I must tell you that, it is not about objectivity of a lady. Or
the husband
it's about,
is not
the
even
government
here,
is looking
sir.
at it with clarity.
I mean, with all due respect, Abha Singh, I mean, I'm sorry, I don't intend to call that out, but sir, her husband is not even here. When Abha Singh is here as a panelist, why bring her husband, sir? I don't get this again.
No.
But nonetheless, please, Krishna Hegde ji,
No, I
continue.
I already praised her. No,
Sir,
let me say this.
You're not getting it, Krishna Hegde ji.
With a clean heart, and there is no objectivity in the matter, at least. And therefore, I don't see that when there are so many issues to talk about, why is the opposition talking about this thing? I think it's a non-issue. If the route works well, there is more economy.
Krishna Hegde ji, it's not just the opposition
If women are
talking. You
getting
just
jobs across
heard Abha
Maharashtra, I think
Singh,
it's a good job.
who you said is a well-respected, reputed lawyer. She's not a politician. I've not even gone to my political panelist who's raising his hand up all this while. This is the reason why I went to Abha Singh right after you, sir.
Abha Singh ji. Abha Singh ji said that she has no issue with the ladies working there. She said she has only some objection about the name Sundari. Okay, we take her proposal. I think if the government can consider that and rename
that
something,
is why we are doing this on day 2. The objection is not. Sir, let me just put this out very clearly. The objection that we are raising here as a channel as well, as a show as well, is not with the job that you're offering. Is not with the employment you're offering.
Sneha ji, I am not talking about you or your channel. I am just talking about the opposition. I'm just talking about the opposition and their charges all the time. I'm not talking about you or your channel. I'm only talking about the opposition and their false charges all the time.
Kishore Tiwari ji, do you want to respond to Mr. Hegde?
Sneha, you have been asking the question that the name of the Shivneri assistant, the assistant which they want to introduce as a Shivneri Sevika, that name should is objectionable, and Sundari word should be deleted. But Krishna Hegde has been replying that this government was doing that, our government was doing that, we are modernizing, we are providing better services in Shivneri, Pune, Mumbai route also. It's a good. They have been doing, we were doing very bad. They have been doing excellent, very good. The public transport services are being improved. We welcome it. We have been objecting that why you put the word Shivneri Sundari there. It can be replaced with the Shivneri Sevika.
Krishna Hegde ji, you've heard Kishore Tiwari even acknowledge the work that you're doing for once. I mean, this is that rare show where you have an opposition acknowledging the work what the ruling front is doing. But they are also asking you one question.
Tiwari knows the truth.
Why Sundari? Krishna Hegde ji, come on. Krishna Hegde ji, you know, you are a politician that people are looking at, sir. You're not just a panelist.
No, we will take the suggestion.
At
The
least
government
would you
will
say
take
that
the
you will take
suggestion.
this up with your
No,
government?
no. The government will.
Will you take
No,
it to
he's
your
No,
not
government, Krishna
obviously we'll take
Hegde?
it up with the government. We'll take up the
He is not
suggestion.
representing the
We'll take up the
government.
suggestion. If someone
It's a
wants the
very
name
poor
as
show.
Shivneri
Hostile
Sevika, that is
debate.
also acceptable. The important thing is that we have to provide them jobs. That is the main intention, and it's a pure intention.
I want to
But
add
you
one
know
thing.
what? I'm just
I
trying to
want to add.
drive this point, and that is a labeling.
Neha, I want to add
Labeling
something.
is not just labeling. Labeling also bears the burden of societal stereotypes. Labeling also bears the burden of patriarchy. Labeling also bears the burden of glass ceiling. Labeling also bears the burden of misogyny. Labeling is hugely important, and even as women are being given jobs and professional jobs, how you label them is how people view them. This is hugely important, Krishna Hegde. This is hugely important. Abha Singh, we don't have much time, but I want to come to you, Abha Singh. I want you to speak because I do want the government to hear. And if I speak, they may object. If a political opponent speaks, they may object. But Abha Singh, when you speak, I hope they will listen. Abha Singh, it's an election season. In 2024 parliamentary elections, 65% women were voters. In the Maharashtra elections, 59% voters were women. And still, at a season when these politicians have to go to them asking vote, they have women in the government, they have men in the government. None of them have the audacity to take it up and discuss that we have gone wrong with this name. Please tell us, as a lawyer, as a woman representative, how do you look at this?
I'm very happy that your channel has taken up this issue. Yes, of course. And I'm happy that Mr. Krishna Hegde ji is saying that he's going to tell the government that you have really gone wrong by calling them Sundaris, because this is a time not to talk of looks. Patriarchy has to go on the downside. Now you're going to get women reservation. You're going to have them in parliament. You're going to have them in assemblies. You have women who
Neha,
are
I
running the
will add
panchayats.
politics.
So now to have them only that they are there because of their looks, because the tag looks as if that they have been recruited because they are pretty and they're going to lure the customers, or so that itself is wrong. And if you change the name, I am happy. I'm glad that the government is recognizing that no more, no further. The women of this country don't want to be
I want to add one
objectified.
fact.
They don't want to be
Neha,
commodified,
I want
and
to
they
add.
want respect and dignity. Supreme Court has said right to life means right to live with dignity. So do not hurt the dignity of women.
Sneha, I want to add something.
Kishore Tiwari, yes please, go ahead.
Yeah, Abha, my daughter's name is also Abha. So, Abha ji, I respect, I have been loving to you since I saw your fighting as an activist for the rights of the woman. But Sneha, you should know there are 2,800 ladies employee in ST corporation, out of which around 600 are the conductor. Are the woman conductor. So it is not the fresh thing. Only they have put the conductor in, and the mindset reflects the instead of conductor or a sevika, they have made it Sundari, because Nitin Gadkari wants it a Sundari. But this is their mindset.
All right.
Krishna, it is your mindset.
Okay, all right. Okay. Krishna Hegde, Article 21, and that's what Abha Singh also referred to, is right to life with dignity. Stereotyping women is not part of a dignified profession. This is the election season, but irrespective of that, Krishna
Hegde, we have
Hegde,
done the best for all the...
No, you may have the intent of whatever you say, but definitely
as
you have panelists and activists and women across the state.
The amount of schemes we've had for the women in our state,
doubting that.
I don't think any other woman, any other state has the schemes for the woman.
No, your
all
mindset
states
And it is a good
have.
suggestion by
Nobody's
Kishore
not.
Tiwari ji, my
Your
friend,
mindset.
Nobody
to
is
also praise
questioning
the
those
work of my
states.
government. And if he says that there can be
Krishna Hegde, you again are
Sevika,
missing
it is
the
a good
point. We
suggestion.
are
And I'm
not
sure the government
against
will
the
accept the
scheme.
suggestion.
We are not against the scheme. We are not against the government, but we are trying
No, I am
hard
talking about the name. I am
for the
talking about
government
the
to
name
see.
now.
Are you willing to see? Yes, that's what I'm talking. Are you
I'm
willing
talking
for the
about the
government to see?
name now, Sneha.
Can the government see what's gone wrong? Yes, please. Yes.
Obviously, we will put up a proposal to the government that if change is possible, then we can change it to Shivneri Sevika also. I thank Kishore Tiwari ji for the suggestion, and also thank him for saying all the good things about my government and the work that we have done, which their government could not have done. And I think I must appreciate what he said.
All right.
But
Okay,
it is,
all right.
whose idea is it?
I think my
Whose
director is
idea it
asking me to wrap. All right, Krishna Hegde.
Is a leader idea or a Babu's
Okay,
idea? At least
Okay, Krishna
they are
Hegde,
winding
as
up.
well as Kishore Tiwari and Abha Singh. Thank you very much for joining us. But this is an issue which is, it's not, as I have been saying, it's not just as superficial as some may want it to sound. It is hugely important for us to see the context and the contours of how naming, labeling is done in today's world, of how women are seen and how women are empowered. Not just that, about how people are encouraged to perceive women. And definitely, Shivneri Sundari's doesn't fall into that bandwidth. Thank you very much to our panelists for joining us.